silence it. Maybe, I don't think I can. Who knows? Hey, Beth and Mary Beth. Is that right? Yep. Beth and Mary Beth. Welcome. Good morning. The print is so small and your names are so small when they pop up on my screen that unless I stick my face right in front of that screen, I can't see who it is. And I don't think that's a pleasant thought. But I'll do it anyways. So we have another less than a minute, and then I'll start. And some more people will come on. It is 11 o'clock on a Saturday. It's 9 o'clock, anyway, in that song. Okay, it's pretty, my name is Michael. This is the Foundational Yoga class. I always forget to say that beforehand. So maybe about once every 2 weeks I've been saying it. But I wanted to say before I start that being in front of a camera, so to speak, and doing this is a bit different than what I'm used to doing, where I have live people. And there's interaction, and I usually have a number of funny things that I say or funny things that come up, and I don't have those except for in my head. So sometimes I'll say something that just makes no sense to you. Or I'll think something usually and smile, and you're wondering if you're looking what the heck is going on. So now you know. So I'm going to read something to you from Dr. Joe Dispenza, Becoming Supernatural. And it's about elevating your emotions. And you've heard me talk about this. But when you elevate your emotions in meditation, what you are actually doing is signaling genes ahead of the environment. So, the genes in your body, right? The body doesn't know the difference between an emotion created by an experience out there or an emotion that you are creating internally when you're in meditation. The physical body doesn't know the difference. Turns out that's pretty cool, because you can, in meditation, elevate your emotions, which is what you always, always, always want to do in every type of meditation there is out there. Elevate your emotions. When you elevate your emotions, the gene expression changes. So we have, 41,643 genes, I think. And yet we have 140,000 proteins. And when they were doing the Genome Project, they thought, yeah, we got that many proteins, we should have that many genes. But we don't. We only got 40-some thousand genes. Well, the genes change expression. So right now, everybody smile. You just changed your facial expression. Your genes change expression. Okay? So when you elevate your emotions, so behind me is that big chart back there, and I explained that a couple of weeks ago in my meditation class. And if you ever want to see it, it's still on Facebook, and I put everything up on YouTube also. But when you elevate your emotions, you change gene expression. What does that mean? That means in this case, when you elevate your emotions, you strengthen your immune system, you regulate your blood pressure, you have a positive effect on diabetes. Isn't that cool? But you also turn on, it's called upregulate, certain genes that have to do with health. And you turn off certain genes that have to do with dis-ease, which held on long enough becomes disease. So by being happy or happier or joyful or uplifted or any of those emotions on that board that you can't read because it's too far behind you, plus it's backwards to you, I think. Whenever you elevate your emotions, you are literally strengthening your immune system and putting yourself into a different space. Not only mentally, but the physical body feels that. The immune system is part of the physical body. So this was tested in 2016. And the test was this. They took 117 people. They had them meditate for 4 days, not all the time, 10 minutes, 3 times a day for 4 days. And their immune system strengthened, in particular something called IgA, strengthened by 49.5%. 30 minutes a day for 4 days. If you're a regular meditator, holy cow, you've increased your immune system more. That immune system, the IgA in particular, is what fights viruses, fights bacteria, fights fungi, fights mold, fights all pathogens. Fight's the wrong term, but we all understand that term. It creates an environment where pathogens cannot survive by staying happy. Holy cow. It would be ignorant not to say happy once you have this information. That doesn't mean you stay happy, because you are running programs that get you down, and your job is to stay up. So we're going to do a minute or two of meditation, not long. You're going to close your eyes. Get yourself situated, get as comfortable as you can so that the physical body does not cause you stress and knock you out of meditation. Sit up tall. Breathe through the nose, because that activates the parasympathetic nervous system in your body, which is the relaxation response. Bring to mind something that is uplifting, makes you smile, perhaps makes you laugh out loud. And this is not just a mental activity. Your practice is to feel what you bring to mind. Whether it is related to an animal that you have, a memory you have of anyone or anything or any pet. It could be related to Jesus, it could be related to Buddha, it could be related to Mom. Bathe yourself in that uplifted, elevated emotion. Understand that you create your environment with your thoughts and with your feelings. When you are sitting down, meditating, or praying, and thoughts flow through the mind that are not elevated, you learn to let them go. So just as picking fruit off of a tree, you're going to pick the best. You're going to pick the ripest and the most pure. You're going to do the same thing with your thoughts. You're going to let the ones go that are rotting and hold on to the ones that are uplifting. And then you bathe in those uplifted feelings. Now, with eyes closed, just smile. Smile to yourself. Because you know you did this. You know you are doing this. We now know spending 3 minutes in an elevated state lasts 6 hours at the cellular level. You actually have that profound of an effect on your body at the cellular level. Way, way cool. Lower your chin to your chest. Raise your chest up. Sit taller. Bring those shoulders back. And then start your half circles. You're rolling your head and neck. Now take it into a full circle. Reverse direction. Most of us have very tight necks. And doing this is very helpful, just to loosen yourself up. Now bring your head back on top of your shoulders and tilt your head to the left and move your head forward and back. And then go to the other side. And same thing, move your head yes. Now come back to center. Now for the past few minutes I have not mentioned your breathing. And what I want you to do is get in the habit of consciously breathing, at least during the time that you're doing yoga, breathing more consciously, with more awareness. So that means you're lengthening the inhale, you're lengthening the exhale. The inhale is fuller, the exhale is more complete. You're not just exhaling and stopping here, you're exhaling, getting rid of it all. When you inhale, you slow it down. When you exhale, you slow it down. And you're going to try to do all of this as you move. Okay? Why? The benefit of breathing through the nose, which I didn't mention, but you're breathing through the nose, even on the exhale. I don't care what you've learned elsewhere. When you breathe through the mouth, you're activating your sympathetic nervous system. That's fight or flight. You don't want to be in fight or flight. You don't want to be in fight or flight in yoga. You don't want to be in fight or flight out there, especially nowadays. When you breathe through the nose, you activate the parasympathetic nervous system, which is your relaxation response. So inhale and exhale. I learned inhale through the nose, exhale through the mouth. Right? But it doesn't work for calming yourself down. I was trained for 30 years. Exhale through the mouth. I changed. If I can change, you can change. Okay? Through the nose. Slow, smooth, deep. Bring it way down. Okay? Sounds good? Let me get on the mat. So come onto your hands and knees. Into your table pose. Your shoulders are right over your wrist. Your hips are right over your knees. And you're going to start your spinal waves. Your cat-cow. So cat is where you're rounding, you're arching. You've seen a cat stretch. And cow is basically how a cow just stands. That sway back. And you're going back and forth between the two. Now come back to neutral table. Take your left arm and your right leg. Reach forward and back, lifting them up off the floor. Bring the limbs parallel to the floor. Now stabilize yourself. Exhale, bring the knee and the elbow underneath. Inhale, reach them out, look forward. Exhale underneath. Inhale, open. Continue to move with your breath, lifting those limbs up. Get that leg up a little higher. Now, hold it out. Now take them both to the side. Forward and back. 2 more times to the side. Forward and back. Last time. Reach it forward and back. Set it down. Kind of move from side to side. Take some of that weight off of that right arm. As you move to the left. And then come back to your neutral table. Extend the right arm and the left leg. Reach it out. You are looking straight down. Exhale underneath. Inhale, extend. Exhaling, bringing it under. Inhale, opening up. Continue to move. Raise that leg up. Lift it up. Straight leg. Straight and strong. Breathing as you move. Stabilizing yourself so that you're not falling. Hold it out there. Bring it to the side. Forward and back. Again. Forward and to the side. Forward and back. Set it down. Move around. You can circle. You can just go side to side. Do what works best for you. Do a few more spinal waves. Now come back into your neutral table. This is what we're going to do. We're going to thread the needle. Take your left arm, reach it out to the left, up overhead. Exhaling, come all the way down. Hand is on the floor behind the right hand. You keep reaching, reaching, reaching. You're going to come down onto the left side of your head. The left arm is on the mat and the floor. Now reach your right hip back. Back towards the rear of your mat. Press that right hand down into the mat with the elbow on top of the wrist. Stacked above it. And come on back to neutral table. How y'all doing out there? You good? Take the right arm out. Reach it up. Thread it through. We're going to do the same thing here. Come all the way down, this time on the right side of your head. Your elbow is stacked above, left elbow stacked above the left wrist. Reaching the right fingers towards your left. Now take your left hip and reach it back. And come on back. Back to table. Extend your table. Walk your hands forward. Keep your hips right over your knees and keep walking your hands forward. Keep your arms straight if you can. Elbows lifted up off the mat if you can. And put your forehead right down to the mat. And then lift your head up and walk your hands back in. And for right now, just sit back on your heels, just so you can come up off of your arms. Shake your arms out. You're probably not feeling too much, that's okay. Just in case you are. And you're rolling a little bit from side to side. If sitting straight up, so you're on the tops of your feet, by the way, the toes are reaching back behind you. And if sitting straight up is quite a stretch, you're not going to be able to do that. You're going to have to lean forward, okay, so that your quads aren't screaming at you. If the tops of your feet, which are on the mat right now, are talking to you, then roll up a blanket and put it underneath your feet so that you're not feeling that and then therefore not being able to stretch your quads. So take your hands back. And I like to just keep moving a little bit from side to side. No one ever gave me permission to do this, but I'm giving you permission to do this. And if you want, you can take your feet farther apart from each other. Your glutes will come down a little bit more. You don't have to bring the glutes all the way down to the floor. You can if you have that flexibility, but you don't have to. You're obviously going to start to look up a little more. If you want, you can look straight up. And lean back more and feel a stretch in your quads. You know, you do not have to go deep in this pose to feel this. So just doing a little bit. I've been doing this more since teaching online, this particular pose. And I notice a difference. I'm getting more flexible in my quads like I used to be. All right, take it back up. Come on forward onto your hands and knees. Lift up one leg, start to move it around, shake it out, get the circulation back in. Go to the other side, do the same thing. Now, another very basic movement. Take your left leg, reach it up behind you, it's bent at 90 degrees. So the bottom of the left foot is reaching up towards the ceiling. Now take it out to the side into what I call Hydrant-asana. And then bring it underneath. And then take it back again. So you're creating a circle. And all you're going to do here is circle that leg, but try to keep your hips square to the floor so that you can articulate that femur bone, the femur head, in the hip socket. Keep circling, keep opening it up as much as you can. And set it down. Move your hips from side to side. How is your breath? Slow breathing. Before we go to the other side, sit back. So, I mentioned the breath right after we did meditation today. And we've been moving, so your breath is going to want to kick up and want to fire up. You are going to want to open up your mouth as a natural default. You keep these things glued together, these lips, okay? And you breathe through the nose. Now, if you're stuffed up, you can't breathe through the nose. You got to breathe through the mouth. But if you're not stuffed up, you breathe through here. As your heart rate jacks up, we now know through research that if you keep your breathing down, you affect your heart rate. There's a number of things that affect the heart rate. The breath does, and your emotions do, okay? And conversely, the same is true. So your job is to still breathe as slowly and deeply and smoothly as you were when you were in seated meditation in the very beginning of this class. Okay? Can it be done? Take a look at the elite marathoners in any race that you see on TV. They never, ever have their mouth open. And take a look at the horses in the 3 big races. They breathe through their nose. Okay? Horses and humans are designed to breathe through the nose. Cats and dogs are designed to breathe through the mouth. So take your right leg, lift it up behind you. Bottom of the foot is towards the ceiling. The knee is at 90 degrees. Take it out to the side. Without lifting the right hip, lower it down and bring it back up again. Complete your circle and continue. Now, while you're doing this, focus in on your breath. While you're focusing in on your breath, be happy. Turn it up. It's not my job to bring you happiness. It's your job. So you have to do it on your own. Set the knee down and extend your table. Curl your toes underneath you and kick up into your downward dog. So in your down dog, pedal out. Walk your dog. As you walk your dog, you bend one knee, let that same side hip drop. Then you go to the other side and the other hip drops. So you're not only walking your dog, you're giving yourself a mid-air twist. And now slide forward to plank. Back into your down dog. Bend those knees to get into your down dog and align that spine. Then work on straightening your legs. And then round forward into your plank. If you want, you can do a little push-up. Don't have to go all the way down. Just do a little one. Bend your knees. Start to move your hips back. Moving into down dog, then straightening the legs. Come down onto your knees. Lower your chin and chest. Come into a low cobra. Bring it all the way back up. Then come into down dog. Lift your heels up high. Take your knees down. Slide forward. Let's do that again. Lower the chin and chest, but the hips stay up. Then the hips come down. This time, you probably can't even see me, but this time, take your arms back behind you. If you want to, you can clasp. You don't have to, you can keep them separate. Lift your head, your neck, your shoulders, your chest. Take the tops of your feet and press them down, right into the mat. Now, come into crocodile. You can either have your forehead to the mat or your cheek onto your hands. Notice your breath. Start to breathe a little slower, a little more full. A more full inhale, more complete exhale. And then turn your face towards the mat. Take your hands to the outsides of your chest. Curl your toes underneath you. And lift your knees and your thighs. And then lift so your hands are to the outsides of your chest. And you're going to do a push-up. Now lift your hips up. Your chest is still down. Now come on up into a plank pose. Back into down dog. And from here, step your left foot forward. Now, if when you go to step your left foot forward, it doesn't go all the way forward, and it goes like here, you grab it, or you put your knee down and you grab it, and you help it along. Either way works. Step it back. Right foot steps forward. Step it back. Slide forward into plank. Take your left hand and touch your right shoulder. Set it down. Right hand to left shoulder. Set it down. Take your feet wide. Do it again. Both sides. And another set. And then come back in your down dog. Slide forward. Lower your knees. Come into child's pose. Reach your arms forward. Glide forward. Come back into downward dog. Step your left foot forward. Spin your right heel down. And you're going to come into warrior two. So the left knee is right over that left heel. The arms are parallel to the floor. The shoulders are down. Lift the sternum, right here, the breastbone. And then take your left arm and reach it up, coming into a peaceful warrior. And then from here, come right into side angle, Parshvottanasana. Left forearm places on the thigh. Right arm either straight up or reaching towards the top of your mat. Come on back up into warrior two, into peaceful warrior. Left arm raises, right arm down. Straighten out that front leg. Take the arms parallel to the floor. Slide to the left. Come on back up. Leg stays straight. Slide to the left. Arms stay parallel. Come on back up. Vertical torso. Slide to the left again. Lower the left arm. Raise the right. You're in triangle pose. You go to the depth you can go to. It matters not what anyone else can do. You're going where you go to. Now your hand is not resting on your leg. It's to the inside of the leg. Back of the hand is to the inside. Come on all the way back up. Warrior two. Take your hands to your hips. Turn your left foot in. Now, start the back bend here. Lift through the sternum. Hips are going to come forward a little bit, but I want you to mostly back bend from the chest. Open up. You're looking up, but also forward. And then on an exhale, come into a forward bend, but keep the integrity of the spine. You're not rounding until the hamstrings say, hey, this is too much. Release your hands down to the mat and just hang for a moment. And if you want to take your feet wider to get a stretch between your legs, you can. Now from here, Take your hands down on the mat. Actually, they're going to be off of your mat if you're turned sideways on the mat, which you should be. And your hands are going to be, let's take them about 2 feet forward of your feet. And then take your right hand right underneath your face. Your right hand is on the floor underneath your face. Take the left arm out to the left and start to twist open. Now your hips are going to want to go to the left and open up. I want you to keep your hips as square to the floor as you possibly can and open up your torso. And then release, replace the right hand with the left hand. Take the right arm and reach it up. Release down. Now take your hands to your hips. Bring your torso parallel to the floor. You're looking down. Come all the way up. When you come up, you're back bending up. And trying not to round, but open up the spine. Now, take your heels and move them in. And come into goddess pose with the lower half of the leg, lower half of the body. And start to move from side to side. Now, if you're tight, your hips are going to be higher up. Okay? If you're more flexible, you can take a wider stance, straighten that leg, go from side to side, and go deeper. But just do this. If you're tight and you get discouraged that someone else is, well, in this case it's just me that you're seeing, that I'm flexible, it doesn't matter. You probably don't do this. So do this and you're going to feel it. No matter what level you are at, you're going to feel this. Now come back to center. Take your hands to your thighs. Bring your torso vertical and straighten out those legs. Turn the feet forward. Bring your feet together. Move them around. Move your legs. Come on up and down on the balls of your feet. Start working your balance here. So as you get used to this, you can slow it down. You can stay up longer and lower down in a controlled fashion. Okay, let's do this. Let's pick the left knee up. Put your hand onto the left knee, whether it's here or it's underneath the knee, it doesn't matter. Take your right hand to your hip. Lift your sternum. Take the left hand underneath the left knee. Extend the leg forward. You're still holding on to it. Bend the knee. Bring the knee out to the left. To the front. Again, to the left. Focus here. To the front. Hand underneath. Extend that leg. Bring it back in and set it down. All right, shift your weight to your left foot. Raise the right knee. Right hand to the knee, left hand to the hip. Take the right hand underneath the knee and extend the leg. Bend it. Extend it again. Take the knee out to the right and to the front. Once again to the right. Bring it forward. Extend that leg out there. Bend the knee, set it down. Oh yeah. Take the arms up overhead. Look up. Come into steeple with your hands. So your hands are like this. Steeple pose. Looking up. Slight back bend, but more of a just opening up in the chest area. And then release the arms. Come into a forward bend. Come all the way down. Brush the mat with your fingertips. Inhale, come all the way up. Back bending slightly. Come all the way back down. Inhaling, come all the way up. Each time you're doing this, you're back bending with the spine on your forward bend. And when you come up, you're back bending to come up. Again, all the way down. This time, stay down. Bend the knees and roll all the way up. Ooh la la. Okay. So, lift your left knee up again. Cross the ankle on top of the right thigh. So it's on the thigh above the right knee. It's not on the knee. It's above the knee. Start to bend the right leg. Use a wall if you need to. Take your hands to the insides of that left leg. Flatten the back. You're going to feel a stretch on the outer left glute, perhaps. If you get to that point, flex that left foot. Come all the way up. Again, use a wall. Because what I want you to do, before we go to the other side, I'll do it this side, is to be able to see my spine. I'm not like this. If I'm like this, I feel nothing in the outer glute, the one that's lifted up. I open up and I lift as though I'm the male peacock. I lift my sits bones and I'm going to feel it there. Okay? So we're going to the other side. We're going to shift the weight to the left foot, raise the right knee, cross the ankle over, start to bend the left knee, reaching forward, the hips go back, torso leans forward, the hands can come to the inside of the lower right leg. Back bending as much as you can, flexing the lifted right foot. And come on back up. Hoo-ah. Okay, let's make our way down to the mat. So before you do, as some of you already know, I have my students not use their hands to come up from the floor or go down to the floor. And there's a reason for that. It's just a rule. No, actually the reason is when we get older, our hips and our legs get out of alignment. They've been getting out of alignment for years, but by the time everyone's different, but I'm seeing it from 40 years and up, people are just losing it. So when you go down the stairs, for instance, you're holding onto the railing and using your arm as the brake instead of your legs to control the descent. And when you're going up stairs, you're pulling up using your arms because your legs just aren't functional. Well, you keep doing that and these guys get worse and worse and worse, and then soon you're walking like this. So you're going to come down any way you can without the use of your hands. Now if you have to use your hands, use your hands. Don't hurt yourself, okay? And then no hands until you're down. And if you're not practiced at this, you're going to have to use your hands. You don't fall down hard, okay? Only Humpty Dumpty did that. Take your legs in front of you Bring them about 2 feet apart, or the width of your mat. Keep your heels on your mat. Flex your feet so they're not like this. They're flexed and the toes are straight up on both feet. Okay? Now walk your heels forward. Okay? So that helps extend the femur bone out of the hips a little bit. Lift up. Just sit tall. There are so many muscles that you just activated. Lift up even higher. Get taller. Bring the crown of the head up towards the ceiling. Hands are not helping you out. You may feel this in your hip flexors. If they're engaged, you're going to feel that. They are engaged, by the way, and with every one of you, whether you feel it or not. Now, take your arms forward, steeple pose, and come forward. Keep the arms parallel to the floor. Come on back up. Exhale forward. Inhale up. Go a little deeper, exhaling. Inhaling up. If you need to bend your knees a little bit, that's all right. And last one, forward. Place the hands down. And you're going to start to round. That's okay. Lift back up. Bring your feet next to each other. Sit up tall. Start to lean back. Draw the knees in. Take the arms out in front of you. Lift the feet. Float them up. Take the shins parallel to the floor. Take the arms wide. Scissor. When will he stop? Oh shoot, I just lost count. All right, flutter. Hug your knees in, stay floating. Relax those hip flexors right at the top of the quads there. Come back into your boat. Come into half boat. Full boat. You're going to do 2 more of these, half boat. Coming back up. Once again. Grab onto your feet, floating butterfly. Feet are lifted up. Take your hands on the outsides of the feet, grip them, and just bring your shins parallel. You don't have to have straight legs, just bring your shins parallel. Parallel to each other and parallel to the floor. Close your eyes. If you want to straighten your legs, you can. With straight legs, or even if they're bent, bring your legs together. Take them apart. Bring them together again. Open them up. And sit up. Sit up tall. You got your arms around your knees. Your knees are separated so you can get your belly in there between the thighs. And you're bringing yourself forward and sitting tall. That's all you're doing right now. What I want you to do is listen to your breath. Listen and observe. Can you begin to slow it down? Let your arms lift up off the legs. Let the knees go wide, bottoms of the feet together. So you come into your butterfly. Get your knees moving. One going up, one going down. opposite directions, and then start to get them going in the same direction. Both moving down and up at the same time. Start to pull yourself forward so that your lower back comes forward and you actually get taller as a result. Press your knees down, keep them down. Now, grab toe lock. This is what we're going to do. Let's have some fun. Well, I think it's fun. So we're going to grab toe lock or grab your ankles. If you can't get your toes, you grab your ankles. Okay, you always go to where you can. I may not always cue you, so I'm going to grab my ankles. We're going to bring them up. We're going to be balanced again. The feet are lifted. And for a moment, you're going to take your hands like this, and then you're going to cross your hands. And you're going to grab the opposite foot or the opposite toe, big toe. You're not doing this. You started here, palms facing each other. You cross over, the palms haven't switched. They haven't gone like this. You're still there and you grab. And then you're going to straighten one leg. You're going to bring it back in and you're going to straighten the other leg. And bring it in and straighten the other. One leg is easy and free. The other leg, like what the heck? How do we get this? All right, you're threading the needle. You may not be able to straighten your leg. That's all right. Okay, that is way too much fun. So, sit tall, get your breath. Take your hands, bring them back behind you on the mat. Now, the fingers are either forward, to the sides, outsides, or to the back. Fingers facing back behind you. When your fingers are facing back behind you, this is the easiest way to do what we're going to do for your shoulders, okay? I like to stretch out my shoulders so I have my fingers forward. You're going to start to lean back. Bring those shoulders back. Shoulders are not up by ears and they're not forward. You bring them back and down, and then you press into your hands and your feet and your hips lift up, and you are in reverse table. And what I like to do is move forward and back, anywhere from 1/4 of an inch either way to a little more, depending on how open my shoulders feel. And then lower back down. Touch, come back up. Exhale back down. Touch, inhale back up. 2 more times, lower it down. Inhale up. Lower it down. Last one, take it up and stay up. Now lower down. Take your left hand with your right, into your right. So grab your left hand with your right and try to pull the hand off the arm. And then switch. Okay. And if this helps you, do this, then do this. Or circle. And this is what you're going to do next. You're going to take your feet to the bottom of your mat, edge of your mat. You're going to take your arms forward. You're going to start to round and lower down as slowly as you can. Once you are down, bring yourself into your Shavasana. Your relaxation pose. Allow yourself to take this pose, to do this pose, especially if you've done this entire practice. Relax into the mat completely. Let go let God surrender. Open your heart. As we talked about earlier, feel good. Elevate your emotions. Just breathe smoothly in and out of your nose. Relax the muscles in your forehead. Soften your cheeks, your chin, and your jaw. Let your tongue relax inside of your mouth. Bring your attention to your neck and let the muscles in the neck relax, release, soften, open up. Feel your shoulders releasing down into the mat even more. The palms of your hands are turned up towards the ceiling. And become aware of your arms. And feel your arms become heavy, heavier, and heavier. Go all the way down to your hands and your fingers and your fingertips. Focus all your attention right there. And imagine you're breathing in and out of your fingertips. If you do not feel that, use your imagination and imagine that you feel that. Imagine that it is happening. Where you bring your attention, you bring your energy. So you may feel tingling in the fingertips, pulsing, just a constant flow of energy, a heat or warming. Stay there. Now let that go and slide back up the arms, past the elbows to the shoulders, and settle in on the chest area where the heart and the thymus gland are located. And breathe in and out of your heart space. Giving thanks to your heart, gently step away, moving back up to the neck, the throat, the back of the throat. Go up the back of your neck to the occipital ridge, going all the way up to the crown of your head, and just rest your attention there. Without any direction, just keep your focus right there. And then continue to come forward with your focus from the crown of the head towards the forehead to the third eye, the symbolic third eye, right between a little above your eyebrows. And stay there for a moment. feel what you feel. And then become aware of you laying on the mat, breathing. And if you're sitting, then become aware of the position you're in. Breathing in and out through the nostrils. Start to move your fingers, wiggle your toes, bend your elbows, freeing up your hands and your wrists. Drawing one knee in and then the other. And then gently rolling to your right side to a comfortable fetal position. And then come on up to a seated pose. Bringing your hands to the heart, eyes closed, remaining inside, giving yourself a thank you, acknowledging the divine within you. Letting a smile come from the heart and crease your lips. Thank you, everybody, for your practice, for your time. Namaste. You did a great job. You had a good practice. I can see you. Enjoy your weekend. I'll see you Sunday for meditation.